Welcome traders. Welcome back to another live session. And it was just preview that we have seen. Welcome back to another live session. Coming up today, we see that. Are you guys ready for a big live one coming up in few minutes? In 15 minutes coming up, dollar, unemployment claims, employment cost index, core PCE price index, and GDP. I hope that you guys can hear me and see me. Say yes in the live chat. Ready? Welcome. It was just preview previously. Thank you. Welcome. Yes. Welcome, Patrick. Good job. Okay, now I'm going to do now full analysis as coming up dollar and CAD PCE price index, dollar GDP, unemployment claims. So that's gonna be definitely have a bigger impact in the market on gold as well as USD pairs. Now beginning with first of all gold, guys, ready for potentially another trade setup. Now this is very important that today's price action is important because of coming up tomorrow NFP and we are almost at the end of the week. So just after the news we might find that entry. Now before the news I would like to do the full multi-time frame analysis here. And that being said, let's begin first of all on starting with the monthly chart to see overall picture in this market. Now doing that full multiple time frame analysis on the monthly. And why am I looking at the monthly is because monthly, weekly, higher time frame. If you look at here, you can see that this is the monthly price action. This is a very interesting price. The reason I'm saying interesting, if this monthly candle close like that, there is a very higher chance this market even may break down here. So that could give a potential breakdown on gold and we might be able to find quite a few consecutive selling opportunity in this market. Now before we go to that selling opportunity or buying opportunity, as there is a monthly close, I'm going to look at here that at the moment on the lower time frame which way the market potentially be heading. Now this is a very important price action on the monthly, as we discussed quite a few times. As why? Because if you look at here, you can see the market on the monthly level, it's on the floor. Now we have discussed in our previous live session about the ceiling and floor. The price is on the floor on the monthly. So if you look at the price on the floor, there is a chance for a bounce here. Now if you look at here, this is the monthly opening and closing area in that area. And as the price is there on the floor, the chances for this market to retest and then to reject back to the upside is higher. Looking at the weekly, all right, so here is the key. Now we see that both directional bias is possible. Now lower time frame, we can see the market is rejecting back to the upside. This is, we have seen that after previous pin bar on the weekly, the market has dropped to this weekly support level, which was expected, and the market has done that. The price has dropped to that support level, and after dropping to that support, the price has got the rejection back to the upside here, which is a level here that you can see. This is the weekly resistance, which also the monthly high here. And looking at the daily, now this is the zone that I can see on the daily time frame, guys, is very important, is this. If you look at here, what do you see from the daily? Very very important point here on the daily, where exactly from the same points the market had that rejection back below on this daily time frame. And if we look at this level here, what do we see here today? From this support, the market has made its move back to the upside. Today's price, that what we see, the amount of pip that it has moved from this daily support, considering today's move, any drop back below could be an opportunity to go long. You see that how the market sentiment is changing is because where we see that there was a big drop on the daily from this level, we see that the market has made its rejection to the upside. Now it has got rejected more than it was expected, and that's reflecting that the market, any pullback here now is a possibility to go long. So therefore, in this live session, as we plan our previous live, if you guys looked at the London session live, if you haven't looked at, make sure you stay subscribed. We come on live twice every day. Previous session, in our live session, we planned for a sell, and we have successfully closed that trade as a sell. Now this live session, we could be planning for a buy here. Now could be sell. Let me know with your opinion here. I'm posting as a poll again, which is a very good way to know what you are thinking. What is your bias on gold today? So I'm posting as a poll to see what everyone is thinking. Right, so let's see now, because the market, if you look at the daily, where the price is now, where the market started, 320 pip move back to the upside here today. Now after that much of stronger movement, welcome. Now after that much of movement on the daily, any break below here could be an opportunity to go long. So today's bias on the lower time frame could be to be bullish, unless we see the market is with the data. That's why we will be waiting for the data. Now if the spike coming up with the news, which is highly likely we'll see the spike, if the spike bring price back below here to this daily support, that's gonna be another opportunity to go long for us to retest this current daily high. So this is our plan here, is to wait for a spike. Now 4 hours, if you look at here, you can see this candle is a doji. The market has tested the low. Now I'm going to look at also a little narrower focus here. Narrower focus, what do I mean by narrower focus? Is understanding is very important. From the daily, we see the daily low is here. Now the market may not revisit that daily low if the order is higher here. In that case, we have another level to look at, is the session's low. Now we are narrowing down to the session, guys. Once you know this secret, once you know how to look at the market, how to analyze the market from the session to the daily to the lower time frame, you are going from the high to the low. That means you are looking at the bigger picture. If you are trading only on one time frame, it's not gonna work, because when you look at the daily, when you look at the 4 hour, and if you look at the 5 minutes, you're gonna see a completely different picture. And understanding that picture will give you a really great understanding of the market structure. Market structure is the backbone of the market. As Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to know the secret of this universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. That's all about, right? If you break down everything, go to the subatomic level, you'll see that wave of energy is interconnected, everything all around. Now, if you look at the market, no matter what kind of strategy you use, whatever happening all around the world, no matter what, there are three fundamental way to look at the market. Is the market structure will give you the trend, which is the primary decision maker of every trade that I use, as well as all the professional traders use. And then the second factor is the price action, is the candlestick pattern, is how the buyers and sellers doing on the other side of the market, which is a visual representation of their order in the market, and a liquidity where it's like a contour, like a map in the chart. So if you can plot the liquidity in the chart, you could see something like this. It's like a contour, right? So where there is a high liquidity, the high volume, high liquidity, high volume, and that's what makes a big difference between a successful trader and a losing trader. Because when you look at the liquidity, when you look at how to trade based on price action and find a directional bias in the market based on the market structure, you are well ahead in the game of trading. Let me do a little bit of adjustment here so that you guys can see now properly. Welcome. Now, what we can see in this intraday time frame, you can see from here why this price is carrying that rejection back to the upside here, right? That's what we need to know. This is the session's low here. The price is approaching the session's high. These are the area of value where the market is potentially preparing for a move. Now, let's look at now 1 hour chart. You see when the market has broken here with this one single move on the 1 hour chart, it tested this support and then got that rejection back to the upside again. Now I'm looking at again the 15 minutes and the lower time frame here. So that being said, on the 15-minute chart, on the 5 minutes, from this support level, if you look at here, you can see that the market has dropped to that support and then got that rejection back to the upside here. Now I'm looking at the 5-minute chart. This is where from this support level the market has made its move back to the upside with a momentum. And what we can see here with this liquidity grab from this support level, it's showing another potential bounce back to the upside. So this drop here that you can see, it crossed that zone and then got that rejection back to the upside here. Now for us to enter this trade again, some of the area that I'm going to look at, because with the news in just matter of 1 minute coming up, let's wait for the spike to settle and then we can look for that entry opportunity in this market. Let's wait for the market to show up. Okay, getting that spike back below here. Welcome. We can see the market is trying to melt back below. What kind of information that you can see on GDP? minus 0.1% was forecast, and the same, there is no massive difference in GDP. Unemployment claims has come out to 218k, which is positive for DXY. And employment cost index also has risen to 0.9%, then forecast 0.8%. So all those factors for DXY to be positive. And let's see how it has impacted, or DXY has reacted to that news here. We can see that some bullish factor on DXY, though it is in a bull market, and that might give momentum in DXY for further bounce back to the upside. And if we look at that reaction, that is going back to the DXY, how it has impacted the DXY is what you need to look at. Now you can see that 15 minutes candlestick pattern that's forming here tested both 10 and 20 EMA. Let's try to catch some peep here. Now this 15 minutes candle might be forming an inverted head and shoulder. Now as I mentioned earlier, from the daily, the possibility for this market to cross that daily high is higher. Today's high is 3314 level, and waiting for, this is the 5 minutes candle potentially closing, and some of the levels that we may be able to look for now. So we are biased with the buy, and the market is almost showing the same pattern, guys. That's the power of understanding the bias in the market. And that's why I always encourage you to stay connected with the, with the group, with the academy, where you can find the understanding of the market structure. Now you can see that here is the 1 hour price action. This is the low of this current 1 hour. 30 minutes price action that you can see, this is the 30 minutes, which is so far, as soon as it opened, it crossed back to the upside here. Now this session's low is here, you can see 3303.67. The market may retest this level again back below. All right, so entry here for us to look for an entry from this level. The market may try to revisit those areas. As soon as the price will touch 3303, this level, 3303.67 or 70 level, if this candle close or without closing, we will be opening buy, as breaking this low could be an opportunity to go long for us, guys. Did you like this stream? If you like, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Now looking forward to see an entry, as we discussed in the beginning, that we are biased with the bullish. The daily price has reached here. The market is showing that potential bounce back to the upside. Any drop back below is where an opportunity to go long for us. As with the proper risk management, as I mentioned earlier, it's very important. So now 5 minutes candle is closing. This is a bullish engulfer. You can see it crossed quite a few sessions low and potentially closing as a bullish engulfer. Now with this candle close, the market may still potentially go back up here. I'm not going to open any buy until we see that this market potentially coming back below. If the price is not coming to retest the 3303 level, we have to reassess the new market structure along the way for entry, because you want to enter from the most important area of value, even in any situation. That's what the high probability trade setup comes in play. Let's wait to see. We have a lot of time to take the trade, but when we will be taking the trade, we'll be taking with the right strategy from the most important area of value, as area of value is where all the buyers or all the sellers who are profitable mostly interested to buy. Now we can see the market is trying to build that pressure back below. Let it come down. If it is coming down here, this is our first area that I'm looking at for buying at 3303.67. Breaking below this low is an important zone that we can look for an entry opportunity. If it is not coming here for a revisit, at some point it can come here. So let's set up our plan here. If the market is coming here, we will be going long and we will be placing the stop loss well below this level. Let's wait to see. This is the 30 minutes and there is a 30 minutes 20 EMAs here. And if we look for entry here, we see the rejection coming. Our stop loss we will keep. If we enter from this zone, we will be keeping the stop loss 45p below or below around this zone here. Still not entering, but let it drop here. So that's gonna be the plan here. Let's put our potential risk reward plan here as well. And we will be targeting this market to potentially bounce back above this level. We can use the pending order, but let first the market to drop back below and then we will be deciding. Because how the market will rearrange, no one can tell you, but once it drops, we will see how it is preparing or creating the price action for us to enter in the market. Now after this candle is now retesting this resistance as a support, what you would like to see that it has done a false breakout and broken back below and then rejecting back again to the upside. We see that the market is now maintaining that market structure. That's the understanding of the market structure, to know that what the market might be doing here. And if you look at from this point, you can see that it has done this significant breakout. Now we might be able to use a pending order. I'm not still entering into this trade here. We'll be waiting for that market to show that directional bias here. If you look at here, you can see this is the 30 minutes and breaking this low here is where we will be able to send that entry opportunity in this market. Now still it may continue to rise from this level, but we might see the market to break that low, and that's where the best setup for us to enter in this market. One of the biggest difficulty of a trader is to be patient and then waiting for the right entry to come to you before we initiate any trade. So that's what we are waiting, and we need to be very patient in that area, because this is the zone that we have found an important area. Now the market, as I mentioned, still could continue to rise. If it restructure back to the upside, we will be looking for new entry, but I think we could see the market to come back here to retest that level. And if you look at the 15 minutes, especially the 30 minutes price action, crossing this doji and potentially creating a new market structure. If before the 30 minutes close, if this market is not coming to break that low, we might see a continuation back to the upside. Now, why we are here in that zone that we are looking to enter from 3303 level, right? As I mentioned many times that to become a better trader, you have to be very good at asking questions. You don't have to have the answer, but asking question will always give you a better understanding of the context. Being a trader is not a day job, right? It takes little time, and when you give yourself that time, you become better trader. And that is why it is very important that also you keep focusing on growing as a trader. Here we are taking a trade, 2 trades. In the previous session we had a trade, you guys have seen that, including our also the premium trade that was posted in the group, AUD USD. Also I have shared some ideas in the Telegram. If you haven't joined yet, you can join Telegram channel where you can find more updates. And the trade that we secured today early on AUD USD as well as on gold, both of them, is based on trend that we discussed, the 3 fundamental aspects. Once you understand the trend and understand the zone where the smart money is taking the trade, it becomes much easier for you to find better entry opportunity. If you look at AUD USD, you see I'm coming back to this one here. It's still moving in that direction. AUD USD, what took us to take this trade? I have already shared some of the analysis in the group. Now you can see that AUD USD, this is an important level, right? And also the price has crossed that high. So this kind of candle in a downtrending market, when you see the price has crossed the previous session's high in a downtrend and closed back below as a bearish engulfer, this candle has a very high liquidity. And after break of this low, the market has gone back again and tested the same level, even crossed that high, got that rejection. So 2-step liquidity grab, and that 2-step liquidity grab has given this market to drop back below, and we have opened that trade. I have already shared some of the ideas in the Telegram, in both premium as well as also in the free Telegram. You can find link below this video for more updates and education. And that market now started to drop, and what I think that AUD USD may potentially break this daily low And you see there is a long wick that it left, which is a pure imbalance. There is a fair value gap here on the lower time frame that you could see the market potentially come back here to fill that imbalance here. If we find another entry on a USD, we will be looking into that while we are looking to see any trade on gold here. Now going back to the 15 minutes price section on gold, you can see, all right, so the 5 minutes, coming back to that on the lower time frame, this is the support in this lower time frame, and waiting to see the market is coming to retest that zone here, this level. So 15 minutes closed, and the candle has closed with a bullish pattern. Looking at the 1 hour, also we can see the market is forming that bullish pattern. 30 minutes, the price is on this support. 15 minutes and the 5 minutes. Now I'm relying on the 5 minutes for an entry because this is where you can see more breakdown picture, though we have a higher time frame support here. Now our entry, potential entry here is in that Z zone. Depending on how the market structure is evolving here. It may continue to rise. If it doesn't drop here for another retest, we will be looking to see that entry along the way. This is today's high at 331415 level. And if we look at the neckline here, which is from this structure, that if you look at this support and resistance on the lower time frame, so if you look at here, you can see that there is a, in that zone, this candle is also FVG, which is the fair value gap. Now when you look at this kind of fair value gap in an important area of value, where you see that with this consolidation, the market was in a sideways for an extended period of time, and the market has just broken back below, again started to trend back to the upside. So it left this candle, this red candle is a pure imbalance. If this high is broken 3315, we could easily see the market is bouncing back to this high here, which is around 100 pip again to the upside. So any break below this support will be a zone where we might see the market pushing back to the upside here to create a new higher high. Now currently you can see on the 5 minutes chart, the market trend is showing there is a rejection here. This is what we need to see. The market has got that rejection. Coming back below, coming to this session's low. This is the 4-hour low is 3293 level. Now here you can see the price from this resistance creating a long wick candle on the 5 minutes, which is could be a bullish move here for this bounce, or could be a bearish rejection here, depending on the candle close. This candle may continue to drop here to this support, or it could bounce, but the way the candle closing, I think we might see that potential break below to this support level. And if it is breaking back below here, that is where our potential entry for this move back below. And 30 minutes price action, if you look at this 30 minutes, this is bullish candle on the 30 minutes. Breakdown is important for an entry. We don't want to enter from the high for a bullish trend, neither from the low in a bearish trend. The best area to buy is from the breakdown. That's why, there is a saying that buy from higher high, sell from lower low. I think that doesn't work all the time, that I have seen many times. What works is buy from the breakdown in an uptrend, sell from the breakout in a downtrend. That is where the liquidity, that is where the high probability trade setup, it works all the time. And that is only the smart money trading strategy. Smart money trade one very simple concept. They don't trade the pin bar, they don't trade the bullish engulfer or bearish engulfer. They trade the liquidity. They trade where the retail trader place their stop loss. And when you understand that, you know exactly when the smart money is coming in the market. And that is why, if you look at here, you see that we are on the 5 minute chart, and this candle that you can see, this is where most trader will buy this candle, because it's a bullish engulfer. The prices cross that high. It engulf a very narrow bullish candle, and it is in a inverted head and shoulder. And then all those liquidity just below this candle. And that's where high probability trade setup. And we are in that area where the potential for this market to revisit that zone. So when you trade, the first question that you need to ask is, when the smart money is buying, where the retail trader placing their order, and where the retail trader placing their stop loss. And then just flip the other way around, and you're gonna see that your trade win rate increased incredibly. And that's what we are looking at here. On Xauusd, you can see it started to melt back below. Now the question is, why we are not selling? Let's understand this question, why we are not selling. from here, but it's too high, sir. TP at we are not opening yet, so don't misunderstand that here. This is potential entry here. You see, it is creating a consolidation structure here. A move, drop, a move, drop. So it's a double top here. So this is the 30 minutes candle close coming. We have only 4 minutes to go for this candle to close. On the 15 minutes, we can see that it's on the support level. We see that it's after this long week green candle, the market slowly trying to build that again to the upside. Now, what we can see that from this support level, this is the 15 minutes price action and the 30 minutes and the 5 minutes. We see that after multiple rejection here, it's trying to build that again to the upside, leaving a huge imbalance here. This is the 5 minutes candle. You can see it's a long week candle. It's a slender candle. I would say the slender candle. Now, in that slender candle, what we can see, the market is trying to form a bull flag here, and it has broken above now on the 5 minutes, which is a bull flag. And in this bull flag, we could see the market to drop down here below this support level. So that's where we are looking to see that the market to creates its structure. There's another 5 minutes candle closing as a potential doji. So you see that also 1 hour candle closing. we might find a short-term selling opportunity, but I'm not going on it yet, as the trend here is to the upside. What you can see here, after this bull flag has broken back below, trying to bounce back to the upside here. Now this is it's a bull market, but it's not yet here prepared for a bounce here. Until we see that bull flag has broken back to the upside, started to trend, we still can expect it to break below here. And this is the support where we might see the market. If it gets that below here, that is where the high probability entry. So from the data that we can see on dollar index has got boost on it, and we can see that DXY, okay, we can see that reflecting on DXY as a bullish price action, and that is boosting the trend here on the day on DXY after this inverted head and shoulder that we can see has given its momentum back to the upside. On the daily that you can see, from the weekly, from the monthly here, from the 4 hour. And with that being said, on Xauusd, yeah, so it's carrying that rejection as we mentioned earlier. It's not showing a very strong bull move. Instead, we can see the market is pushing that price back below here. Are you guys ready for a potential entry? We can see that 1 hour closed with a doji, and the market's now trying to push back below here. From the 4 hour chart here, also it's a doji. Let me delete those lines here to review the price action. Now this is the 4 hour candle, and this 4 hour candle, this is the high of this session. We are reviewing the price action again, and this is the low of the candle. And from the 1 hour that you can see, it's breaking back below. From the 30 minutes, in the similar way. Okay, so we are not entering yet from this level because we see that here very strong bearish drop. We would like to see how far it is coming. It may even cross this low here and then can continue to reject back to the upside. We see that rejection here. So from this level here has dropped to that support, and we may see a potential retest of this 20 EMA from the 30 minutes. And now we need to look at a potential area that where we could see the market to reject back to the upside here. Still bullish, yep. We see that market is trying to break below this level here. All right, we can see the same kind of price action on the 5 minutes, and breaking below can give us a potential entry. In the last moment, you can see some rejection. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart to see how this market structure is forming here. There is an order block here in that area on the 1 minute that if we look at. So if we look at the 4 hour here, we have only 50 minutes for this candle to close. Can we expect one more time the market to come and test this level here? Let's wait to see. Now you can see it's getting the rejection, creating a series of lower high. So you think if we test the 4-hour low, you see that in that case we might see that 15 minutes continuous drop to that support level. And that's gonna be a very good area to go long. But I think let's see that how far it goes, because this is a very sharp bullish rejection from here. And after this rejection, the sellers to break that low again to that level before the 4-hour close, it's not gonna be easy. And the price is still may remain in this narrow zone before the candle close and then to move back to the upside. The bias here is bullish. That's the ultimate way to look at here that we are looking at. And directionally, you know that it's a potentially bullish, highly likely. Now the entry is the point, because if we enter too early, also it's gonna be taking us out of the trade and may continue to rise here. So you see that here it's trying to build up that pressure to the upside. If this market goes back above 3311 level before breaking below, we may see that continuation back to the upside here. The session's low is very important, because this is where you will be able to see that the market is getting the rejection back to the upside. Now, as a day trader, always we look at the session, okay? Because during that time period, there is a volume, especially the 4-hour candle and the daily is where we look at the support or resistance for an entry in this market. So if you look at this 4-hour support, that you can see from this support level, there is a stronger bounce from the daily, and from the 15 minutes that you can see the market is trying to build that pressure back to the upside here. I think the test is done. If the test is done, we should be able to see new higher high. And once we see the new higher high, we may be able to find that bullish entry from the high. Until we see the new higher high, if you look at the 4-hour, you can see that it didn't create a new higher high yet. And until we see the new higher high, we still could see the new lower low in this market. So you can see from here the price is showing that 10 and 20 EMA retest and then trying to build up that pressure back to the upside. Slowly we can see the market is breaking below, and we can expect now to break that low here without retesting this support. Though we can see a rejection here, we can expect further continuation back to the upside in this market. We'll be waiting for the market to penetrate back below to this support level, and then we will be looking into the entry as soon as we will find that potential momentum here. 30 minutes price action that you can see after this bullish engulfer, this current one not being able to break that high. Now if it is coming back below here before this 30 minutes close, we may be able to see potential rejection again back to the upside in this market. It's rejecting high. Yes, this is what I was telling, that it's less likely to go bullish without breaking any of this low, because this market, if you look at the 4-hour again, you can see it's already has created a downside long wick candle here. We will be waiting to see how the market is creating the structure in that area, and then it's trying to push the price back below to this support. We'll be waiting for the market to break below and then to potentially reject back to the upside. Okay, getting that potentially an inverted head and shoulder formation here. Until it fully break below, you see that slowly trying to create a structure, and at some point you could see the market to fully break below and then to continue to rise here in that area. If you look at the 5 minutes again, we can see another bearish rejection potentially in this area. Still, I'm not very impressed with the bullish move here. From this level, we see that there is a bullish price action is being formed on the 5-minute chart, but still the market is maintaining here that inverted head and shoulder in this area. And with this inverted head and shoulder, from the 1 hour we can see also slowly trying to push back up. Still there is a possibility for this candle to close back below or come back here below. From the intraday here, the price is trying to fill that long wick, so I'm still waiting for the market to break below here. Let's wait for the market to show potential direction here in that area. So we can see the price in that area is still maintaining this structure, and looking at the calendar again, what we are seeing here on the calendar, tomorrow ADP non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and average hourly earnings. So these are the most important news of the month, and we'll be covering here in this live session, so don't miss out here. And today still we have the full session remaining for a potential entry. Now this is the current support that you can see. This is an inverted head and shoulder that you can see, and from the 1 hour, again reviewing this price action here with this doji, we have seen the 10 and 20 EMA. Here is the support on the 1 hour, and we are seeing the 4 hour close coming in few minutes. And with this 4 hour candle close, the possibility for this candle to close as a bullish, if that's closing as a bull candle, the market may continue to rise here to create a new higher high. From the dailies is still maintaining that support and still showing that bullish pattern. Now before the candle close, this is the session low that I am targeting here to see. If before the candle close, sudden drop to this any of this key level, that is where the entry here for us to look for potential move in this market. So with this long back-to-back two dojis here, we may see the market to come back here to this support level. Expecting it to drop here. As you can see, it's now not being able to push that high. After back-to-back two liquidity grab, it's now here bearish price action. And that being said, we could see that drop before the 4 hour close, and that drop might bring us here for another entry opportunity. We see that consolidation here, and because it's a, you see quite a few long wick on the 30 minutes, the chances for this market to break that before the candle close is higher. We're waiting to see that how it formed that structure. And if we see the long picture here, you can see this is the 15 minutes price action, and the market potentially to go back up here in this support, which is turning resistance, is very higher than anything else. Now looking forward here to see the market to trend down and then to reject back again to the upside. We'll be waiting for that break below. We'll be waiting for that support to break, and we might see that if you look at the 5 minutes here, this is a sharp bearish rejection from this high here. When the market consolidate like that, you might find it very, very complex to understand a clear direction, because from this consolidation the price may break below or may break to the upside. Until it breaks down or breaks up, we need to wait patiently for that move to happen. And from this high, the market is building that pressure back below. We see that bearish candle formation on the 5 minutes again, and it is slowly building that pressure before the 4-hour close to see if this market coming below further here for another retest, and then to potentially move back to the upside. Now if we look at the 1 minute, you can see that it's a two double top, which is 5 minutes, showing that bearish price action, and breaking that low can be an important level that we can look for entry. From the 1 hour, it created this support. So we are reviewing the multiple time frame to see that the directional, but multiple time frame looking at is very important, because when you look at the multiple time frame, you can see the clearer picture in the market. Here, as you can see, the market is building that pressure, expecting it to break below here and then to potentially reject back again to the upside. Getting the rejection here from the top. Another pin bar on the 1 minute. Now this is what you can see from here. It's trying to break that below. So you see that, as you can see, the market now putting that pressure back below, and from the intraday, from the 4 hour and from the lower time frame, if you look at the 4 hour again, it's just on the support level, which is a very narrow zone that you can see. So the way it is creating this market structure is the possibility for this market to come down here. But I think that before the 4 hour close, we might see a retest, and then it may not drop a lot. Rather, you could see after the candle close to bounce back to the upside. So therefore, for us to enter from that area could be an important zone that we can look at after this cross of this 30 minutes candle. 15 minutes close coming in few minutes. Okay, we can see the market is building that pressure, coming down. I'm preparing for an entry, guys, here. Still not entered. I'm preparing for a buy entry, not yet, but I'm preparing. Okay, breaking that low here, Now I'm going to go long here on Xauusd, keeping stop loss below this low. TP target taking to 221. From that zone, I'm going long on gold. Stop loss at 33299. I'm long on gold by market. So we place the stop loss here at 47 pip at 3299. Right, so running buy on gold. The market has tested the 30 minutes 20 EMA here. Right, so we are on buy on gold, expecting it to bounce back up. Before the 4-hour close. And we have another 15 minutes candle. Now this candle will determine either this market will be bullish or bearish. From the 1 hour, we can see the price has broken that low. Expecting to have a bounce here. Guys, say yes if you are running this trade with me. Make sure you do the proper risk management. That's the key here. Now anything can happen. Let's wait to see how the market is reacting, as this has broken that support with a one single big drop, possibility to have a rejection after retesting this is higher, as there is a 4-hour candle close coming. From the 30 minutes that you can see the market just tested the 20 EMA, and so we might see some break below here. So my stop loss at 3299.16, but I'm going to move it to 3299.00. I put at 3299.00. Just to give a little bit of space for the spread. So you can see that there is a rejection here before the candle close. Let's wait to see how the market is trying to create that pattern here. If so, we give a little space here for any liquidity grab. Look in the 1 minute here to see how the market structure is forming. Right, so there is a 5 minutes doji. Now we are at nearly to the entry area here, and before the candle close we might see the rejection that you can see coming from the support level. May remain bearish for further. Now if it breaks the low from the 4 hour, we might be able to re-enter again. So you see the rejection, some kind of rejection here. Let's wait to see from the 1 minute. Okay, if there is a bullish rejection, we might see straight going back up here, expecting it to return to the direction of the trend. Okay, so if it is to 1 minute doji. Now this is the level that we are looking at the moment for a potential reversal. We are on the trade nearing to our entry here. I'm expecting to catch some peep like the previous one we did, and if the market is being able to break that high where we could see that inverted head and shoulder, expecting it to bounce back up before the candle close. And so from the 4 hour that you can see after this high, it's penetrated the swing low. Okay, getting some long wick rejection here. Now before the candle close, we have 5 minutes to go to see how the market is creating the structure here. We are on a very, very important support level. I'm still hopeful for this market to bounce back to the upside, that you can see scanning that momentum. Possibly we are nearing to our entry again here. There is a long wick rejection, and I think the possibility here is still to bounce back up before the 4-hour candle close, with the 4-hour candle close, to move back this price back to the upside to the resistance line. That potentially could bring that price to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. Let's see that last one candle on the 1 minute. Now with the 4-hour close, You guys with me? So here you can see that a red bear candle, and so last 1 minute before the 4-hour close. My stop loss at 3299 here. So basically it just got more on the support, and it may try to come back here to 3299. After the candle close will determine either it's gonna bounce back up So here is the 1-hour price action. It's on the support level. If it breaks below, you might see that coming well below. Just got us out of the trade. From the 4-hour that you can see the market has closed back below with a bear candle, and this market so let's see that where the new market structure is being formed with a long bearish engulfer. We might see that 15 minutes week fill. So that market structure we could see now potentially to, if you look at the daily level, we see the rejection and the market may come back to certain level of this daily low. So from this support, as you can see, it just tested the lowest point of this move. Here we saw that there was an inverted head and shoulder. The market has made its move back to the upside with a narrow consolidation, and the market trended back up from this level. It's from this point onwards, as it has crossed this low, we could see the market to potentially come back here, test the low, sessions low, 4-hour low. The next zone that you could see the market to come back, cross this low, and then to return back again. So the next point that you could see this market to breaking this low before it bounce back to the upside. From the daily, it's a long way. Today we have seen move. We may see now deeper pullback and then to see further bounce back to the upside. From the 1 hour that we can see from this resistance, it just got the rejection strongly from this level, and now at this point you could see the market to come back here to 329293 level, and from this zone we could see the market to potentially trend back. Here you can see there is a double top, and most likely you'll see the market crossing this low and then to return again to the direction of the trend. As now it started to trend here to the downside, if we look at the lower time frame here, we may see some short-term bearish trading opportunity for this move before it return back again to the upside. So we'll be waiting for further setup, and any trade coming, guys, I will be sharing with you the updates in the channel. Make sure you stay connected by joining all the links below this video. We are coming on live again twice tomorrow in London session as well as NY session to trade the NFP. Let's see how the market react with the NFP, and that's gonna be the big sessions coming, both of them. I'll see you again there trading live together. Today's session and is here, and I hope that, guys, you enjoyed, you learned here. The most important part here is learning and growing as a trader. And if you find value, make sure you stay connected. I'll see you there again very soon, trading live together with a watch on the gold for this session. Once you find an entry, we will be on that. Until that, stay well, stay happy. I'll see you again there trading live together with another session.